Start. Hello, everyone. This is Divyanshu Vyas, and we are from Petroleum from Scratch, and I'm accompanied by uh, my friend Jayesh Char, a usual face, and we are really glad to welcome Mr. Chaitanya Agrawal, who is also now a colleague of mine at Shell. So he's a data scientist with more than 6 years of experience, and he comes from offshore or some people also call it marine engineering or technology engineering from IIT Madras. And I recently met with him at a conference, and we were having a discussion about the career transition that he had. And it kind of resonated with what we have also done in petroleum from scratch, like people like me, people like Jayesh, and most of us who want to do that in our community. So I thought let's invite Chaitanya. It would be great if Chaitanya you could share your story. How about a quick introduction and good evening to you. Welcome to Petroleum from Scratch podcast. Quick introduction from your side, Chaitanya.
Yeah, thanks, Divyanshu, and thanks, Jayesh, for inviting me and having me here. So basically, I'm Chaitanya. I have around total 6 years of work experience. So currently, I'm working at Shell. And before that, also let's start from the beginning. So I graduated from IIT Madras with dual degree, which is BTech and MTech in naval architecture and ocean engineering. So post my graduation from IIT Madras, I joined a solar energy company, a solar energy startup, I would say, as a project manager. And then I moved to the field of data science, and it has been around, I believe, 4.5 years since I'm working as a data scientist. So yeah,
Mhm.
this is about me.
Great. Thanks for that, Chaitanya. So just to confirm, like in your engineering, and this is for all the audience that we are talking to. I would like to ask you, like, there are two kinds of engineers, right? Some of them they just hate engineering, and some of them actually are passionate. So, what kind of engineer have you been, as far as your field is concerned?
So
Yeah.
yeah, so basically, I would like I would like to see myself as a very passionate engineer. So I like engineering, and uh, because I had a very keen interest in engineering, I did several projects out of my branch, like not from my branch during my course of engineering, and that's the reason I even was a part of solar energy company. Like I wanted to do like do something more engineering based, not just the managerial stuff.
Hmm.
So like my whole, like I would say, experience right from the first year in college to uh, working as a data scientist shell, I have been looking for opportunities where I can make use of mathematics especially, and yeah, make use of engineering concepts which I learned in my engineering.
Yes, and I kind of felt that based on our discussions, I kind of felt that, and we share a very common passion towards engineering. And I would like to and also Jayesh, please feel free to pitch in whenever you feel like. But let's start with you telling us how your engineering, what activities did you do? Were there any clubs or whatever that you started or something? How did you actually shape your career as an engineer? Because that is also important for young undergrads who are starting up.
Yeah. So when I got into IIT Madras, did not have much clearer picture of what I wanted to do in future, because at the time of counseling, I just had heard that naval architecture, ocean engineering has good scope, like just random chit chat you listen from your seniors, and I did not know much of the career prospects in this field. So I went into my college with an open mind, like what all I can learn. So in the first year, I joined some robotics club, which is quite common in IIT Madras. Like most of the people are into robotics, and just for the sake of it, like my friends were joining robotics club, I joined it, and I then started exploring several options during the course of my engineering. So I did not last long into the robotics field, but
Mhm.
I then with with the help of my friends, we launched an NGO which was doing good work in terms of implementing technical projects for the benefit of society. And the motive of that NGO was to learn how different projects, how different technologies work. Like we did project on solar energy implementation in one of the government schools in Chennai,
Wow.
and
Mhm.
bio-toilet installation in one of the villages in outskirts of Chennai as part of Swachh Bharat mission. So we wanted to explore how we can make use of technology for the benefit of society. So that is the first thing I did in my IIT, starting second year until my fifth year as part of my dual degree course. Then it was going in parallel. Then we are like in IIT, we are given a choice to choose a minor. So minor is basically a sequence of a set of three courses which
Mhm.
are clubbed and called a minor. Like minor could be in management, or minor could be in operation research, any field. Like so I then chose a minor in product development because I wanted to learn how products are developed. Like, so we were kind of trying to develop ebook reader for visually disabled people. Like, they are available
Nice.
in the market, but they're not very cheap to buy. So that's how I was looking for various opportunities where I could learn different aspects of the engineering, basically not necessarily related to my core field of engineering, but
Mhm.
yeah. And then in final year of my engineering, I did a master thesis, which was experimental study of submerged breakwaters, which was a very interesting study. I
Yes.
developed submerged breakwaters using rubbles in a wave flume and then performed experiments. So it was a very interesting experiment, and it was done as part of a master thesis. So as you see, I did NGO work for the
Mm.
love of like learning technology, different technologies, not basically related to my branch. Then did product development for 2 years, and then did my master thesis. So yeah, these are the various projects. Like I would say uh, big impact projects, which
Mm.
gave me
Right.
a lot of learning.
Right. So what I understand is like you actually did not stop yourself to a particular domain. You actually your focus was to bring impact to people's lives, be it through your minors and your master's thesis, and that's a great aspect that you followed right from the beginning. And I love that the visual reader for the visually challenged PDF reader for visually challenged. We can have a separate discussion on that. But I mean, Jayesh, you have any question before I get to discussing about the Breakwaters project that Chaitanya has done?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to know about the career transition. How did you
Okay.
started to learn data science, and how the transition was easy for you, was or was it a little bit difficult, so that other people who are from a non-IT background, they can also get some of the information from that.
Okay, yeah, great question. So in my third year of engineering, it was, I believe, 2013. So it was a time during summers. I saw my friends doing internship, uh, learning doing internship and like basic, I would say basic analytics internship, and they were learning R. So during my third year summer, for the first time, I got to know that some language exists, which is like statistical language, and uh, it can be done. It can be used to do all sorts of analytics. So that was my first twist with the analytics. And at that time, I enrolled in Coursera, even though I haven't yet completed that machine learning course by Andrew Ng. But yeah, that was the first course I took in third year summer. Partially completed it, lost interest. Like I did not push much effort into it. But yeah, I was using MATLAB, so I learned basic programming, and C is taught as part of the curriculum. So I knew the basic programming, and that was good enough for my engineering.
Hmm.
But in my final year of engineering, I did not sit for the placements, by the way. So I was doing a startup which I started in my final year, and it ran for 11 months. Then I left it. So I did not sit for the placement, but then when I started looking for the jobs, then while in doing introspection, what should I do? I kind of thought of picking up analytics. So until my final year of college, I did not learn much of the analytics. I was basically knew basic Python and basic that was good enough. But after my during my first job, when I got bored while doing all the operations work in my solar energy company, that's when I really introspected whether I want to go for an MBA or do some more technical work. So I discussed with a lot of my friends, and as then I realized I should go for some more technical, not an MBA right now. So then I started learning analytics through edX, Coursera, and all. And since I was just 1 year into the job market, it was easy for me to get a job as a fresher, because generally right now, like, people are more aware and they are more prepared than I was there then at the time. But when I applied for the job in 2017, uh, the entry, I would say that the threshold to entry was quite low, in the sense that a basic analytics job was easy to get if you had good analytics, good aptitude, and good mathematical skills, which I already had at that time. So that's why I got in the first job. But then after getting the job, it was a very steep learning curve. My company was doing all work in PySpark, reinforcement learning, all the POCs they were doing. Then I had a very steep curve, and for the first year, I really struggled to do OOPS, object-oriented programming, because I was not well conversed with it. I hadn't done any object-oriented programming in college. So yeah, I would say, to summarize the discussion, like, until my college, I wasn't looking for a job in analytics. I thought of doing a job for some few years, 2 years, and then go for an MBA. That was my plan. But after doing my first job, I realized I should do more technical, and then I learned it over the job as I was doing the projects.
Okay, so with the job and with projects, your learning kept on growing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I also think the same, that if you know basic things, that is enough for you to get into a job. And after that, with projects and all those things, growing, learning keeps on growing. So yeah, over to you, Divanshu.
Yeah, I think a great transition story. And one thing that I really spotted out is that you told me that the NG course that you started is still pending. And that is a great lesson to a lot of people who are just focusing on getting certificates. They need to understand that the real skill comes from doing things, applying your understanding. Don't shy away from, I think you would agree, Chaitanya and Jayesh both, that if you have a basic understanding and applied mindset, you can start applying for jobs, right? You don't have to complete certificate, post a certificate, and then vanish all of a sudden and just expect that you will get a job. So that's something that a lot of people do. I'm really happy they do the certifications, but I'm not happy that they just vanish off, assuming the certificates will help. So Chaitanya's example is a great example. Then when he started, like, he just did certification courses for the feel of it, not for just the piece of paper. And yeah, that brings me to my next question. So I remember we were discussing in the conference at Shell about the Breakwater project that you were doing. And I would like to give a quick introduction to the audience about it, the oil and gas audience maybe. And then Chaitanya, maybe you can enhance that understanding. And the focus is, we are still connected to the domain, but we are data scientists. And now we can use that understanding to develop maybe data science POCs or whatever. So the Breakwaters project, I think Chaitanya, was about the waves that come around the offshore structures. How can you break those waves so that the proximity of those structures that remains secure? So I think that is a great application in offshore structures. The integrity, we look at it only from the structure point of view, but we do not look at it from the hostile sea waters kind of view, which is something that I'm really interested in. So how about you give us an introduction of that?
Yeah. So basically, breakwater is a coastal protection structure. So if you if you would have visited any of the beaches, like say, I remember in my childhood, I went to Dwarka, like in Gujarat. There, the
Hmm.
coast is like the waves are very hostile. You cannot stand on the beach because your sleepers will just wash away, and you cannot even venture 1 meter into the sea because the waves were very hostile. I remember when I went there in my childhood. So what happens like in Breakwater is a coastal protection structure. So you would have visited Marine Drive, you would have seen that tetrapods are placed
Yes.
uh, on the Marine Drive. So that is kind of a coastal protection structure because it will reduce the coastal erosion. It will break the waves which are coming in. So similarly, breakwater, which I worked upon, it can be submerged breakwater, which is submerged under the sea, or it can be visible to the naked eye. So it is generally installed depending upon the I would say geographical layout of the region, but uh, it's generally 800 to 1 kilometer into the sea. And what happens there? So if the wave is coming, it has some energy, and if you make the wave lose that energy by falling on the structure, then whatever energy which is remaining, the transmitted energy is lost. So V1 is the incoming energy, some energy is lost, so V2 is the outgoing energy. So that V1, when it loses some energy, V2 has a very limited energy. So the waves which reach the coast are now very mild. They don't possess much energy. And it has various applications, like for protecting the coastal erosion, you can create breakwaters, or to create more picnic spot on the beaches, you can install breakwaters so that breakwaters dissipate the energy, and the waves which reaches the coast are like very mild. And breakwater also serve as a very good that very good it creates a very good ecosystem for the species like fishes and algae. So what do you call it, like Great Barrier Reef, as you would have heard about it, it's near Australia.
Yes. Yes.
So the breakwaters, submerged breakwaters, they create a very good ecosystem for uh, the ocean, all flora and fauna of ocean. So biologically, ecologically, it has some, it serves some good purpose instead of just dissipating the waves energy. So that was my project, to study the impact, how the dimensions of the breakwaters are
Mm.
affecting the transmission of energy. That was my project. So I did an experimental study, and uh, as part of
Mm.
my thesis.
Great. I personally find it very interesting because it's easy to understand why that can create so much value. And I really hope we can, collaborate on some project, maybe internally in our company or wherever we can. But one thing that I can clearly see in your career transition is that you still are very aligned to the domain, and the fact that you can explain the details of it, given you are 6 years outside college, and you can still explain it so clearly. It just tells that your connection with domain is good. And just for the audience, I would like to ask your point of view for someone who's starting as a petroleum engineer into data science. I'm asking you because you are from the same department at IIT Madras, at which petroleum engineers also, get admitted, and a lot of friends who are pursuing IIT Madras MTech are from your department only. So how would you guide them, given they are very niche and very core? How would you guide them towards data science journey? How would you suggest what paths would you
So
suggest?
yeah, so basically, I did some courses of petroleum engineering as well as part of my curriculum. I don't remember the course's name, but I remember one was reservoir engineering, even though I don't remember the details, to be frank. But as I remember, like from our conference that we attended last week, there are good applications of data science in petroleum engineering. So the point is, whatever field that you choose to study, you study it pretty well so that you understand the basics, have good intuitions, and in parallel, if you want to get in the job market, you need to understand what the job is demanding. So you, if you're doing masters, why don't you pick up a thesis where you implement your core knowledge along with doing some machine learning integration into it. So Divyanshu can explain it better what we saw from the presentation of Vishal. He published a paper in IEEE where he implemented computer vision to inspect the core, reservoir core, in a very beautiful way using
Yes.
computer vision. So there are very good applications. The point is, uh, your professors may not ask you to do that project because probably for
Hmm.
numerous reasons. I cannot name the reasons, but the point is, you take the initiative, you look out what projects the companies like Shell are doing, maybe connect to some people from Shell, maybe
Hmm.
Divanshu or me, you can
Hmm.
connect with, and understand what core petroleum companies are doing, how they are making use of data science and machine learning in petroleum engineering, and you can probably pick up the same project or a similar project as part of your master's thesis. So that is what I would recommend, because you cannot leave your core field. If you're chosen to study it, you have to complete it with good marks and good GPA. But you should also look at what applications you can do of machine learning in your core field, so that way you are hitting two birds with a single stone. So that's what I would
Exactly.
recommend you guys to
Exactly.
follow.
Yes, I think that conclusion has to remain very strong that your power is your domain, and your tools and your weapons are things like data analysis tools like Python, Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and you can learn all these things, but it's as if you are learning mathematics, but you want to apply it to some applications. You are learning a tool, but you have to be very strong at where you want to apply. Otherwise you will be on the robotic side of things, you will not be on the uh, ideation side of things. So if you are strong on your domain, you will also come up with new ideas, which companies actually they demand in interviews. Also they will ask you to brainstorm on new ideas. And me, Jayesh, and a lot of our friends, we have been in places where on the spot we have been asked to think of some new ideas. So that is something, and thanks for reminding. I mean, Vishal sounds like someone who I should aim for the next podcast with. He would have great things to share. And one final question, Chaitanya, because I promised you that I won't hold you back for long. I want to ask you, like I see that you have plans which don't not a lot of seniors have. You have plans to give back to your own university, and that's the reason we also started with Petroleum from scratch, giving back to the students. So ideally, I know it's a long road, but ideally, if you had a chance, how would you like to help the Department of Ocean Engineering at IIT Madras?
So basically, in 2019, I had visited my college. I met a few of my professors who taught me in my undergraduate.
Hmm.
So one of the professors, Professor Krishna Gutti, at that time, we were discussing what I was doing at that time and how they were looking for creating some center for AI in naval architecture and ocean engineering department. So it was in a very budding stage at that time, and since then I haven't connected with him. So after attending the internal conference in Shell, I got an idea. Like I saw multiple applications of it, of machine learning in petroleum engineering, and that's what then I discussed with Divyanshu how we means how I can take help of Divyanshu as well. And I wanted to reach out to my professor
Hmm.
and understand if in case I can provide some my own learnings to them if they ask for. Like I don't know, because I haven't started the discussion with them yet, but that's what I want to do, like help my department if it's possible to do the core stuff plus do its application, do the application of machine learning as well uh, in the projects or in the research they are doing, because currently the job scenario of this field is not very good in India. There are very few jobs available, and to make graduates job ready and also not job ready to get abreast with the recent work that everybody is doing in the industry all across the globe in academia and industry, they should also learn new things uh, apart from the core engineering they are doing, and do its application of machine learning in their core engineering, so that they are also job ready. And on the other hand, they are also like more open to new ideas. Like they can probably, if they're not liking their field, maybe in future, if they want to switch, they have great list of options available with them. So that's my idea. I will talk. I'm trying to connect with my department, and if they really want to connect with me, like my professors, then I surely want to work with them because it will be a learning experience for me as well. Yeah, that's all.
Yes. Yes, I think yeah. I mean, I would like the audience to know that Chaitanya has been trying really hard uh, in his team as well as the seniors at Shell. So he has been initiating discussions, which he does not have to do, to be honest. He has a great job. He has a great career already. He has over 5 and 6 years of experience. He's doing well, relax. He could just enjoy his weekend, relax and all, but uh, he just has the vision that we kind of like to have as well. Maybe helping the juniors with, and so that they can get to a place easier as compared to what people like me and people like us we have struggled through. So I really respect that, Chaitanya, and I hope we can contribute as Petroleum from Scratch in that journey if possible. At least if not for the jobs, we can upskill the people at Department of Ocean Engineering at IIT Madras. Let me know if we can be a part of that. And I would like whoever watches this video. I would keep pushing Chaitanya to watch the video's comment section. So if in case anyone has any doubts, and anyone who's studying in that department, uh, look at Chaitanya as a senior who is ready to help. And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
will we
sure.
will we will will be keeping him in loop. Share your questions to him or us, and we can bring that to him. So yes, I'm really glad we are growing as a community of real mentors for the students, which is a great thing. So thanks, Chaitanya. I think in the interest of time, we could not ask too many questions, but this gave us a brief picture on how to transit from a very unique field to something job ready. So any final words? We just have 1.5 minutes. Any final words from your end before we wrap up?
So I would like to say that you need to learn new things. Don't restrict yourself to your field of study, because interdisciplinary mind will help you understand various concepts across fields if you're doing a job or in future anytime whatever you're doing. So be open to new ideas, learn new things, not just your field of study but other things as well, be it finance, economics, stock market, anything. But yeah, do study
Yes.
various things, and it will help you understand workings of, I would say, the world. A very cliche line, yeah, but it will really help you.
Hmm. Yeah, that's, I think, the best conclusion we can ever give. Don't limit yourself. Just keep exploring.
Yeah.
It's not just about data science, guys. It's about whatever gives you a job. So I think we are almost there. Thanks. I think a few people also joined on the way. Thanks, Amit and Naresh, who are still with us. And any questions, if you have, please connect with Chaitanya on LinkedIn or YouTube. So see you again, guys, with other podcasts. Thanks, Chaitanya. Thanks, Jayesh. Thanks,
Yeah,
Naresh and
thanks a
Amit.
lot.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good
Thank you, Chaitanya, for your time.
night.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.